potentially dangerous situation can happen anywhere at any time. Will you be ready? Saturday, you're minding your own business, running your errands. All of a sudden, you're involved in a potentially lethal situation. Would you know what to do? In September of 2009, a bank robbery was reported around 9:20 a.m. in El Cajon, California. The robber used a demand note and fled with the cash. But a witness saw the robber get in a car and gave the police the license plate number. Officers stopped the car and arrested a 46-year-old man and a female driver. Thanks to the quick thinking of a citizen, that robber is behind bars.
If you're in your bank making a deposit or doing some business at your bank, and someone comes in to rob that bank, the thing that they want is the bank's money. They're not going to sit there and spend the time to rob individual people, for the most part. They're there to get the bank's money and to get out of there. The bank wants the individual out of the bank as quickly as possible as well. The best thing you can do in that situation, even if you are armed, is to take no action whatsoever unless shots start getting fired by the suspect. Be a great witness. That's the best thing you can do.
In 2008, the FBI reported a total of 1,645 bank robberies in the United States. Of those robberies, a firearm was used by the robbers in 993 of them.
Even as law enforcement officers off duty, how you can be a good witness is just watch, listen. It's kind of using all your senses. The best witnesses are the ones that just kind of take a step back and don't get involved and take little notes of the complete scene.
Law enforcement officers all agree that the best course of action for a citizen in such a circumstance as a bank robbery is to be the best witness you can be.
It often helps us out when citizens can record details mentally. To be aware of the total situation helps us out immensely. It gives us the upper hand when we can track these suspects down.
There are 5 key points to look out for when witnessing such an occurrence as a bank robbery. 1. Get as many details as possible on the clothing the attackers are wearing. 2. Physical characteristics are key. Remember their height, weight, eye, and hair color, and any distinctive mannerisms. 3. Pay attention to the vehicle they either drove up in or left in. If you can get a license plate number, that would be even better. 4. What direction did the robbers drive off in? And 5. Take note of any weapons the robbers may have. Citizens can aid law enforcement officers by being a star witness. And being a star witness means being situationally aware and prepared.
If you can get to a place and safely record what's going on, mentally, or if you can take a pad of paper and write his license plate down or write a clothing description down. But, the citizen definitely needs to be safe in doing so. We don't ask anybody to get in harm's way in order to do our job. But, if you can do it safely or you have a good vantage point to, a crime going down and you can get on your cell phone and call us, it would help us out immensely. Being a good witness is definitely important. It may be the difference between solving a crime or letting somebody get away and never be caught.
In the event you find yourself in a bank robbery, always use caution, as the robber may be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Do what they tell you and just try to be a valuable witness. For over 20 years, police and federal agents have been using pepper spray and non-lethal devices to subdue a criminal. Items such as pepper spray, stun guns, or tasers are a staple for law enforcement agents. These objects are also available to consumers.
The definition of less than lethal is basically products which are not considered lethal. The main goal is temporary incapacitation without causing serious injury and or death to a subject or an attacker.
But just like any personal defense weapon, knowledge and training are vital when using such items for self-defense.
For many women, they're not comfortable carrying guns, loaded weapons, or something sharp like a knife. And in that case, a stun gun or pepper spray is an option. Again, you've got to get training. The equipment itself is not going to save you. You still have to act.
When it comes to applying any weapon in self-defense, the goal is stopping power. You want to stop the other person from hurting you. That's what it's all about. Stop them, create an opportunity for escape.
At the Highlands Ranch Law Enforcement Training Facility in Colorado, Janich and his team will show us the proper use and tactics for these alternative weapons.
Pepper spray has been used very effectively in a lot of different situations. What it comes down to is making it appropriate for your needs, considering what you really face, and then making sure that you make the commitment to carry it properly.
Pepper spray is typically an aerosol spray that consists of the concentrated agent oleoresin capsicum, or OC. OC is extracted from chili peppers and is the chemical that gives peppers their hot quality.
Tabasco sauce, by comparison, measures 0.02 capsaicinoids. The EPA determined that you can deter an attacking bear with 1.0% major capsaicinoids. Our Sabre Red product, the most potent pepper spray, measures 1.33. So it's quite a bit hotter than Tabasco sauce. It's not something you'd want to put on your eggs or your chicken wings, that's for sure.
Pepper spray is an inflammatory agent, and one's response when getting sprayed is involuntary, making it a very effective weapon and giving you enough time to flee an attack.
Have it in your hand or have it in your pocket with your hand on it if you need it. The idea of fumbling for it is not a good idea in a self-defense situation. You'd simply draw it, stick your thumb under the safety here, and be able to spray from a distance and be able to hit it. What do you got behind you? Like, show me your hand, show me your hand. Back off, back off. Typically, what you want to do is draw an S pattern. You'll see some people recommend hitting high in the center chest here so it wafts up and splashes up into the face. Basically, what you want to do is not just try to hit with precision aim, but actually hose the gun. Back off, back off.
One of the great benefits of pepper spray is if it's applied appropriately and you have more than one assailant, you can cover both of them very easily, which would give you a chance to get away, to go call 911 or scream for help or have someone else come and assist you or just get out of the area.
So Teresa, from a woman's perspective, what do you think about these products?
Women are raised to be nice, we're raised to be cooperative, we're raised to be nurturing, we're raised to help people, not hurt people. So it's a very difficult transition for a woman to go into striking with her elbows, striking with her knees. So pepper spray is a good option. The only thing that I would caution is not to put it in your purse and not have it accessible when you need it. The other thing is, when a woman is adrenalized, we're not going to remember steps 1 through 4 of any self-defense move. And so I'm going to be fumbling around, screaming my head off, trying to figure out how on earth to get this to work, quite possibly spray myself in the face. So that's one of the things that I would caution women against. Carry it in a way that you've got access to it. So it can be ready to go and you're ready to spray it at a moment's notice.
I think with regards to common everyday use, a pepper spray, a compact keychain pepper spray is fantastic. It's with you in your hand when you're leaving buildings, walking across parking lots, commuting to and from work, walking to and from your home after you arrive in your automobile. It's right there in your hand. Simple press of a button across the eyes, and you can deter an attacker.
There are 4 physiological effects of pepper spray: tearing and closing of the eyes, immediate inflammation of the throat and uncontrollable coughing and gasping for air, a burning sensation and inflammation of the skin, and loss of balance due to the effect on vision.
But this also has a blue marking on it. So when you spray the guy, you basically turn him into a Smurf for about 48 hours. So he's very easy to identify. You hit somebody like that, you call the police, it's easy for them to track him down and find him.
The effects of pepper spray on an assailant can last anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours, giving you enough time to get to safety and call 911.
There's a variety of things that people can utilize other than a weapon to defend themselves. Some people think that pepper spray is a great answer. It's always good to have options rather than just simply go right to deadly force.
And the pepper spray can be used for other things too. If your steak's not spicy enough, you just put a little on there and it'll be fine, wouldn't it? We've showed you how to properly defend yourself using pepper spray, but another less than lethal weapon alternative is a stun gun or taser.
Someone sees you with a stun gun, you tap the stun gun, you activate it, they see the electricity jumping from probe to probe. That oftentimes is enough to defuse the situation. An effective product, very intimidating. I think though if you were comparing it to a pepper spray, the advantage a pepper spray would have over a stun gun is it incapacitates you for up to 45 minutes.
Some people may not always be comfortable in carrying a firearm, and that varies from person to person. One thing that we issue all of our police officers is a taser, and we utilize these when necessary if we run against someone where there's not a deadly force option there or a deadly force threat, but there's a threat to ourselves or someone else.
Stun guns use high voltage and low amperage to temporarily disable your attacker for several minutes. But unlike using pepper spray or even a handgun, you have to get within arm's length of your attacker.
Stun guns are to be used up close. You need to touch the attacker, ideally center mass. The stun gun I have here from Sabre is one that you would need to touch the attacker, 500,000 volts. The higher the voltage, the more effective the product, the louder the product, the less amount of time you need to actually touch the individual with the product to incapacitate.
There's actually two different models. One looks just like this. The concept behind the taser is there's two barbs that shoot out. And when they shoot out, they hit a person, and the electrical current that is coming out of this device will typically just make some person just stand there and the muscles freeze up and gravity takes over and they usually fall to the ground. They're very, very effective when they're used. And this shoots two probes out. This particular cartridge is a 21-foot cartridge. There's quite a bit of range on this. The downside is if you miss, you've got to go in and complete that. If you have more than one assailant, you've got to have a reload. So that takes time. So there's a few downsides to it, but in the most part, it is a very, very effective tool.
What you've got is a very powerful electrical current that you can put into an attacker. You have to basically make contact with an attacker, and you're dumping hundreds of thousands of volts into him, basically overriding his central nervous system. You can put him down very easily with something like this. What I recommend for something like this is you would actually have a jacket, keep it in the pocket of your jacket, keep your hand on it whenever you're walking out in public, you're walking in a situation where you feel that maybe you're not safe or maybe you're concerned about your safety, you have your hand on it. If you need it, you simply draw it out of your pocket and you're good to go.
The energy in a stun gun depletes the attacker's blood sugar by converting it to lactic acid, making them unable to produce energy to move their muscles. A stun gun also interrupts the tiny neurological impulses that control direct and indirect voluntary muscle movement.
Stun guns, basically what they do is they deter the message the brain sends to the muscles. It interrupts that, so it temporarily immobilizes an attacker. And really, more than anything, they're very quite intimidating. Would basically feel like being struck by lightning.
If you choose to carry a taser or stun gun for self-defense, there are 4 strategies to remember. 1. Always keep the tool charged and close at hand. 2. Know how it works and practice. 3. The most effective place to hit an attacker is in the torso. And 4. Once you tase your attacker, flee the scene and get to safety. Stun guns are illegal in some states and legal with restrictions in others. So be sure to check the laws in your area before deciding to purchase a stun gun.
What you have to do is do the research. When it comes down to any weapon that you're going to carry, you need to do the research legally. And it's not just looking at the state laws. Again, you have to look at municipal laws.
Pepper spray and stun guns are an alternative to legally carrying a firearm for self-defense. But with that choice comes awareness and getting the training to defend yourself properly.
Tasers have been absolutely incredible for us in the law enforcement industry. They are so good. I bought one for my wife. That's what she uses to answer the door with. Great tool. They're reliable.
You're on your own. And because you're on your own, you need to understand that, accept that, and then prepare to do something about it. If you consciously choose not to do that, you're a victim.